Joe Root, England's leading run scorer in Test match cricket. In the history of Test match cricket, there's just one person that has more runs than him in the Test arena, and that's Sachin Tendulkar. He's got over 13,000 runs, 39 Test match hundreds. But one thing he does not have is a Test match 100 in Australia. Surely, Darren Gough, surely in the next 6 weeks, that will no longer be a thing.
Well, if England win the Ashes, he's going to have a couple to his name. He'll be in the 40s, I've no doubt. He's a terrific player, averages over 15 Test cricket, over 150 Test matches. And there's no doubt. I don't think his career is defined by him getting 100 over there, but I think people will go from saying he's the best player England have ever had. He might be the biggest run scorer. They'll say, not got 100 in Australia, that's the ultimate test. And they might say he's still one of the greats, but he's not the best. He might be the second best or the third best. But I still think he'll get 200s in this series.
Will it be a stain, John, on his career if he comes away from this Ashes series, retires as an England player and has never scored a ton in Australia?
No, it won't be a stain, but it will be mentioned. And those that...
Blemish.
Those that want to focus in on it, namely Australian cricket fans, will no doubt raise it every single time his name is ever mentioned from here on in. But I tell you something that is never, ever, ever said. It's Shane Warne wasn't a great bowler because he had a poor average in India. Mm-hmm. Shane Warne wasn't that great a bowler because he never took a fiver at Lord's. No one's ever said that, but both are true. That isn't a stain on Shane Warne's career. It's not even a blemish. It's just what it is. Shane Warne was a legend. And Joe Root is one of the greatest batters that has ever played Test cricket. Yeah. Whether he scores a century or not. That's not to say that the individual won't be so desperate to just get that 100 and one will become two. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And if England win this Test series and they win the Ashes, then so be it. You ask any Australian bowler or any Australian player or any Australian cricket fan worth his salt, which is the wicket you want to get?
No, it's Joe Root, absolutely. Joe Root. And that's why they go at him as well. We know they're going to go at him. They're going to go at Stokes and Brook. For me, they are the three they're going to go at. They're the heartbeat of that team for me. Root, Brook and Stokes.
Can you should also just factor in a couple of other things. Firstly, Joe Root's played in 3 overseas Ashes campaigns, right? So 2013-14, when he was still kind of new to the team was falling apart around him, all around him. People were going home injured, ending their careers, retiring, loss of form. Mitchell Johnson and Ryan Harris, Mitchell Johnson may have bowled better in South Africa on one series, but essentially he'd never bowled better than he was bowling in this series. And England, it went horribly wrong, and Joe Root, was dropped for the only time in his Test career. So it's one of the 3 when he didn't score a century. Look at the other 2. He was the captain of a losing side. All of the stuff that goes in. He wasn't just able to concentrate on his batting. He was the captain as well, and it wasn't going wrong. And the second of those was during COVID. And not enough is made of the fact that what England had to go through just to play in those Test matches, you do not win in Australia the best of times, and this was the opposite of the best of times. So there is a kind of reason in and amongst there why he hasn't performed to quite the levels that he's seen everywhere else. But go back to what we said before. He is one of the best batters that has ever played the game ever. And that's without scoring a Test century. So in Australia. So
he will do. He'll get 1 at least, but I think he'll get 2.
How many?
I have no idea. Who knows? Who knows? I just do not know. But I do think that if he gets 1, he will get 2.
He's very much like Vaughan in that respect. I mean, you look at Vaughan's first-class record. I mean, it was probably steady, right, rather than being great before he got into the England side. He got into the England side and he showed some class without, again, being top player. But that one Ashes series he went over there and he scored run after run
2002
after run.
or 3.
I mean, when he gets in...
3 daddies. 3 daddy hundreds.
3 daddy hundreds. When he got in, he cashed in. And Joe Root is very much like that. When Joe gets in, he flies.
Can I just throw something else in there as well? Look at the bowling attack Joe Root has had to come up against in the last 2 Ashes series. The best bowling attack Australia have ever had. Now, of course, he's going to come up against a bowling attack. He's not got the captaincy. Fantastic. Obviously, we're out of COVID. Excellent. There's no Pat Cummins. Phenomenal. Seen some of the deliveries that have got rid of Joe Root in the past. There's no Josh Hazlewood. Even better. But the pitches, they're not flatties. They're spicy. These are 3-4 day test matches. So conditions are going to be really, really difficult for batting.
I'm not having the best bowling attack all time. Not
Well, look,
All round,
pace.
all round.
McGrath,
I'm talking pace.
Gillespie,
Pace.
Johnson, Brett Lee.
Well, Johnson and Gillespie.
Yeah, they crossed over,
played.
but well, Brett Lee as well. Shane Warne.
Forget Warren.
Yeah, how can you forget Warne? If he's playing against you,
I'm talking about pace.
You're very unlikely to get 100 if he's playing
Three-man
against you.
pace attack better than Cummins, Hazelwood and Stark for Australia.
In terms of how long they've done it for, Gough, it's hard to
No.
argue that.
The best.
Yeah.
You name the best,
I agree with
better
you.
three-man bowling attack, pace bowling attack than Cummins, Hazelwood and Stark. You've got 19 minutes. I don't think there was
People
one.
maybe argue back in the day, the West Indies, when they were the...
I'm talking Australia.
Their
I'm
powers.
talking
McGrath,
Australian.
Gillespie.
Talking Australian.
McGrath, Gillespie and Brett Lee would have been pretty impressive.
I
Okay,
wouldn't-
well, you two
I wouldn't
argue
get
over
Brett
that.
Lee in ahead of any of those.
Let's hear, shall we, from former Australia captain Michael Clarke. He appeared on the latest episode of How to Win the Ashes with the one and only Darren Gough, and he gave his thoughts on Root's record down under.
The conversation now about Joe Root, right, hasn't scored 100 in Australia. I know he would love to, but I see that as the icing on the cake for Joe.
Yeah.
I don't see, like, if he doesn't, I'm sure he'll look back in time and go, I wish I did. But, mate, his record is his record, and you cannot take that away from him. He's an all-time great player. But no, I don't think it should make or break your career, especially these days. There's so much cricket, teams, and it will happen now as well. Like, we'll play this Ashes series, which will be the biggest thing for the Australian fans and probably the England fans. But from a player's perspective these days, after the 5th test, mate, the boys probably go into another series. They probably get on a plane 2 days later and have to play India in India. So their brain transitions so quickly, yet, in our time, the Ashes was massive build-up, generally one-day cricket before the Test series starts. So the energy's there. Then everything is about the Ashes. And if you lose, it's like the longest flight home ever. So I think a lot's changed, to be honest, Goughy. And I don't think you should be just judged on Ashes series. I think, like I say, as a player, your career is your career. And I think that's what you should be judged on.
You can watch the full episode of How to Win the Ashes on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel from tomorrow morning. In the final part of the show, we're doing our Ashes predictions. Before that, boys, I want to talk to you about Harry Brook, because it feels like lots of people are putting lots of... I think we almost know what we're going to get with Joe Root. I think we're almost confident he's going to score runs. But I think with Harry Brook and the way he plays, it feels like he's either going to have a generational series where he gets 600 runs, breaks all sorts of records, and wins England the Ashes, or it feels like it's going to go the complete other way. And we see the worst of Harry Brook, charging Pat Cummins or Josh Hazelwood, whoever it might be, and he gets out in the most stupid of ways. It feels like, Goughy, there's nowhere in the middle. It's either going to be really good from Harry Brook or really bad.
That's where he plays, but he averages nearly 58 in Test cricket in 30 Tests. It's not like he's only played 5 or 6. We know the way he's going to play. I've got him down to be the top run scorer in the series, but it could easily go wrong. But I think Harry Brook's one of those players. He could get 200, right? Get 100 in the second innings, then he could go 0-0-0.
Yeah.
Right? That's the sort of player he is. But I'll tell you what, he's a match winner, and there will be fear. There will be fear of Harry Brook, because they know if he gets in and he bats for 40, 50 overs, England are scoring a lot. Simple as that.
How important is Harry Brook, John, for England over the next few weeks?
He is the most important batter.
The most.
Yeah, he is. I mean, one of the reasons for that is he scores so quickly. So if we are looking at 3-4 day games here, then a batter that can score as quickly as Harry Brook and essentially is batting on such a level that he can take pitches out of the equation in a manner that we saw in Wellington in December, where wickets were falling everywhere, and there was Harry Brook, 170 odd, and pulling out all the shots. And we've seen him, his overseas record is actually better than his record at home. He can change the course of a match in the same way that Travis Head can change the course of the match. You know, whether it's Harry Brook or Joe Root, top of the run scorers, you can make an argument for both, right? But if Joe Root and Harry Brook score exactly the same amount of runs, it's obviously going to take Joe Root a lot longer to get him in. And in a series like this one, you just feel 2 sessions of Harry Brook, in a low-scoring test match can be the difference between winning or losing.
Yep.